Now on BBC One in London and the South East, late kick-off with Dan Walker.
Good evening. Tonight we come live from BBC Broadcasting House. It's the final fortnight of the Football League season, the time when dreams can be made and hopes can be dashed. We'll follow every twist and turn on late kick-off. Football would be nothing without the fans, but these days it's rare to see a packed stadium outside the Premier League. In the age of austerity, Rajeev Gupta has been finding out about the challenges faced by some of our Football League clubs as they look to keep the fans coming through the turnstiles.
There are almost 23,000 fans here at Brighton today. They're one of the very few teams in the Football League that sell out every week. Football League attendances as a whole have been falling, and that's meant some clubs have had to come up with new ways to try and bring fans into grounds.
If you look across the four professional leagues over the last 4 years, we've seen a slight decline in attendances of about 440,000. And part of that may be due to the economy, but when you start drilling down a bit lower, what you see is the Premiership is quite insulated, not surprisingly, but it's when you go to Championship and Leagues 1 and 2 that you start to see some of the fans maybe drifting away there.
In the competitive catchment area, Millwall have had the lowest average gates out of any of the London Championship sides this season, but they have made concerted efforts in recent times to draw in new fans.
Like most Football League clubs, we are a family club, we're a community club, and what we've done over the last couple of years is change our family area, change the section and concentrate on actually bringing more families to the ground. We've changed this section that we're in now to a more family friendly in terms of the food offering and just the facilities, if you like. I mean, you know, we famously took 45,000 to Wembley for a playoff final, and you know, I fully understand that when most people play in big finals they take a big support, as we did, but the key for us is getting some of those occasional fans here more often, and it is challenging, but yeah, of course we'd like to have another 2,000-3,000 on our gate on a regular basis, because that really would impact on the budget that the manager's got to put the better players on the pitch, and that's what it boils down to.
Clubs have got to really understand who their fans are, and then specifically communicate to them with things that they want to hear. We see some clubs who put out a lot of information, but it's focused at one key group, the die-hard fans, who will come week in, week out anyway. It's about looking at the occasional fans. They're the people they really have to get to, and then they need to enhance the experience for fans. And that's where new stadium effect can have a huge benefit.
Brighton are one club who have benefited from having a new stadium, but they say it's not just the facilities that are bringing in the fans.
We're now opening our stadium at 1 o'clock, so people can come in and eat and get food early. And we actually keep the stadium open after the match. Tonight we'll still be open at 11 in one of the areas. They're entitled to feel they're being well treated. That's what it's about. At the end of the day, people will spend money on something that's good. So the product of football has got to be better than everything else. And there isn't anything like being at a live football match. Watching it on telly isn't the same as being here.
If all goes well, Brighton could be playing in front of 30,000 here at the Amex next season, and with 3,500 on the waiting list, they certainly have the demand to fill the ground. But for now, it seems like they're one of the lucky few.
I should say a big thank you to both Brighton and Millwall in that. And